So you want to travel this year and you're wondering which destination is going to give you the most epic experience at the lowest cost. Well, in this video, I've gathered together the top travel content creators / travel experts who are going to be telling you the most amazing, affordable budget destinations to visit in 2023. And be sure to watch this video all the way through because Sia and I will be sharing our top picks at the very end. Now let's get to destination number 1.
Hey everyone, it's Mark Wiens, and thank you so much, Kristen, for having me on this wrap-up of budget destinations. The place that I'd really like to highlight is Bangladesh, and this is a country I just absolutely loved visiting. It's one of the densest countries in the world, and so when you're there, there's just so much action happening everywhere you look. The people are extremely friendly, and then, the food is one of my priorities. That's one of the reasons the reason I visited Bangladesh. And the food is so good with so many spices and so many unique ingredients like mustard oil, which gives such a unique flavor to the food. When it comes to budget, it is definitely very affordable to travel and to eat and to do things when you're in Bangladesh. Let's start with the food. You know how when you travel a lot of places, $1 is kind of a common snack. Sometimes, especially in Asia, you can get a lot of things for $1. In Bangladesh, take that $1 and move it to 50 cents. And snacks that you'll find on the streets, one situation I remember is when we ate fuchka. And fuchka are similar to pani puri, which are little crispy fritters, which then you're dipped and then are dipped with a variety of spice waters and potatoes and chickpeas and spices. And I ate a whole plate of it, and it came to I did the conversion, it was 58 cents. And it was one of the greatest little plates of food that I've had in a long time for 58 cents. And then that goes for full meals as too. You can have a full meal, it's extremely affordable. As for accommodation, there's basically every level that you can imagine. If you want something really budget, you could get something for $5 or $10 for a room. And then finally, transportation. And again, there's every transportation imaginable, but taxis are very affordable. And one of the things that you have to take, especially when you're in Dhaka, are the rickshaws, the bicycle-powered rickshaws. And so they're, very, very affordable. But Bangladesh, an amazing country to visit and a budget destination.
We're Kara and Nate, and the most affordable place that we visited this past year was Bulgaria.
We were so shocked when we booked our Airbnb in the middle of the capital city. It was 3 bedrooms, perfect location, beautiful apartment, less than $100 a night.
And the city is amazing.
Then we rented a car because you can pretty much see the entire country in a week. And we drove into the mountains where, I kid you not, we ate at a restaurant, 3 people. Our bill was $13.
That included wine, appetizers, and a coffee to finish the meal.
And dessert. Unbelievable.
Crazy.
We also slept inside of a monastery surrounded by the mountains for $10 per night.
Not to mention the nature in Bulgaria is absolutely incredible, and there are tons of hiking trails, which are, of course, free.
We love Bulgaria. You won't be disappointed if you go.
Put it on your list for 2023.
Hello, my name is Mike Corey. I'm an adventure travel YouTuber with the channel Fearless and Far, as well as a adventure travel TV host. And my recommendation is Romania. I was there just a year and a half ago, and I was blown away because the country still has some magic. You know what I mean? I was in Cluj, which is in Transylvania, and I made some notes. We spent about $40 a night in the city center in a great Airbnb in Cluj, about $2 for a half liter of beer, and 2 people for a date night with wine, maybe a dessert, was about $35. And I gotta say, Romania is one of my favorite countries. I will definitely be back. If you're looking for a country that still has that magic and also doesn't break the bank, check it out.
Hola, I'm Melissa from A License to Travel Movie, and my budget travel pick for 2023 is going to be Lebanon. I went last year and I had an amazing time. Sadly, their dollar is devaluated right now, which is great for us USD people, but not great for them unless you go there and spend a bunch of money, which I highly encourage doing. So you can start out in Beirut, rent a car for about $15 a day, and head up to my favorite area called Batroun, where you can stay at Batroun Suites. Cool rooftop pool and vibe right in the middle of downtown area, and from there you can get to all of the cool beach clubs. My favorite beach club is probably Butler's Beach and Bolero. It's about $10-15 for entry, but it goes towards your drinks or your food.
Hey, I'm Louis Cole, and my top affordable destination for 2023 is Guatemala. The beginning of 2022, Raya and I got to visit whilst we were driving through Central America in our school bus. It was so rich in history and culture and has quickly become one of my favourite countries. And although there are expensive options, if you know where to look, and with the help of locals, you can find some incredible gems. One specific second-hand clothing market we visited in Antigua was unbelievably cheap. There were great pieces of clothing for less than $1 each. And the hike we did up Fuego volcano was one of the most incredible experiences of my life, and also very affordable to get a guide for the day. We also stayed in an RV campsite for only $16 a night, and they had quirky accommodation available to stay in, including a helicopter and other school buses. One tip for affordable food, like anywhere you visit, is asking where the locals eat. So if you're looking for an amazing country to explore and to keep your visit affordable, Guatemala is perfect.
Hey everyone, I'm Haney Jean and my pick is Antalya, Turkey. This beautiful seaside city not only has stunning beaches, but is filled with so many well-preserved ancient structures from both ancient Greece and Rome. You'll find ancient walls, towers, and the famous Hadrian's Gate right inside the main city center. But I'd also recommend taking a day trip to both Aspendos and Perge while you're there. We traveled there in 2018 and our hotel was pretty nice for only $50 a night. But you can get even cheaper hostels in the main city center, if you like. The food is also affordable, where you can get a good meal for like $3 to $5. So add Antalya and add Turkey to your list this year.
Hey everybody, it's Deb of the Planet D, and my favorite budget destination is Havana, Cuba. As a Canadian, we all know that Havana is a go-to budget destination for all-inclusive resorts and package tours, but my husband Dave and I found that going downtown Havana was a far more authentic and fulfilling experience. Instead of choosing an expensive hotel or resort, stay at a Casa Particular. Casas Particulars are locally run homestays that include breakfast. You'll not only save money, but you'll immerse in Cuban culture and support local owners. You can get a good bed and breakfast for as low as $30, but very savvy budget travelers can find it for as low as $15 to $18. Havana is really cheap to explore. Most of its top attractions are all within walking distance of Old Havana or Centro. I suggest starting at Old Havana and Parque Central, and that's where you'll see all of the major classic cars lined up. If you haggle hard, you can get a good deal on a tour in a convertible. However, for those on a tight budget, instead of paying for a tour, all you need to do is hail a colectivo. Collectivos are shared rides that locals take, so you'll be joining a group of 3 to 5 locals that can take you on all kinds of routes throughout the city. Old Havana is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and most of the sites are free to enter. You can get lost visiting its cathedrals and museums on your own, or you can join a free walking tour in Havana. But the best way to see Havana is at night, and it really comes alive. You can spend all your time outdoors, intermingling with all of the families and musicians out on the streets. Grab some Cuban rum and head out for a night on the town. We stayed away from the all-inclusive resorts and the state-run restaurants and instead ate at Paladeros. They're easy to find when you're walking around El Centro or the Prado or the Old Town. Just look for the locals, go inside, and you'll have some delicious and affordable Cuban food.
What's up guys, my name is Kristen and I've got a bit of a cold, so hang in there with me. My country of choice is Indonesia. It's where I've chosen to live after 7 years of travel, about 80 plus countries. This is my home. I'm here in Bali, Indonesia, and while we've all heard of Bali at one point or another, let me just say that's just the starting point. Bali is incredible, but there is a list of dozens of islands that you've not even heard of that are incredible adventures just waiting for you. The first reason why you should consider Indonesia is the price. It's so cheap to travel around here, especially once you get outside of the most touristy areas. You can travel for a fraction of the cost of North American, South American, or European travel. Secondly is the beauty of this destination. Some of the most incredible cliffsides, mountains, volcanoes. It's truly a fairy tale. With that does come one drawback, and that is going to be that you will most likely find trash. The plastic pollution is sadly the Achilles heel of this destination. The third reason is it has something for everyone. If you want to be partying, meeting new people, drinking in fancy coffee shops, and having top of the line dinners, then Bali has you covered. If you want to get adventurous, well, you can actually do that here in Bali, but look no further than the surrounding islands to have incredible hikes to the top of an active volcano, to go to one of the most lush and beautiful flowing waterfalls you've ever dreamed of. I have been traveling this country now for several years, and I have to say, I'm just getting started. Hope that helped. helped, and maybe I'll see you here.
Hi everyone, Kiki from The Blonde Abroad here, sharing why I think South Africa should be on your budget-friendly travel bucket list for 2023. So I'm going to narrow in on Cape Town because it's really hard to talk about an entire country, but I moved to Cape Town in 2017, planning to stay for 6 months, and I ended up staying for 4 years. So I have a lot to say about South Africa and Cape Town, but focusing in on why it's such a great budget destination. The rand is 17 to the US dollar, and you can get a lot of bang for your buck here. If we use my favorite coffee shop as an example, you can get a milky coffee like a cappuccino or a flat white for about 2 US dollars, and a really nice breakfast like avocado toast with poached eggs and smoked salmon is only around $7. So this is like a fancy coffee shop. You can do it a lot cheaper, but if you're considering that the high end is less than $10, it's a really, really good value. Another thing that makes it so affordable is that Uber is really cheap. You might spend $2 or $3 to get from one part of the city to the other, and a lot of neighborhoods are very walkable. In terms of activities, there are so many free things to do. You have beautiful white sand beaches and lots of incredible hiking. One of the coolest things to do in town is visit the African penguins at Boulders Beach. That is a national park, and I believe admission is something like 150 Rand or about $8 to visit. I could go on and on about all of the reasons that it is such an amazing budget-friendly destination, but I would recommend going and seeing for yourself. Happy New Year, everyone, and safe travels.
Hi, I'm Juliana Brosti, Traveling Jules, and my amazing affordable destination is Sri Lanka. There is so much to see, all packed onto one island. You can enjoy the hustle and bustle of the capital city, Colombo, and climb to the top of the Lotus Tower. The next minute, you're on safari, seeing Asian elephants in the wild at a wildlife sanctuary. They are so cute. You can explore ancient cities in Anuradhapura and Kandy, and of course, you've got to see the Kandy dancers. They are so cool. Their costumes are so intricate. And as well, why not visit a tea plantation where you can see how tea is plucked from the fields? It's quite an interesting tradition. Lonely Planet estimates daily costs from 5,500 to 20,000 Sri Lankan rupees, which is about 14 to 54 US dollars a day. So you can see your money goes a long way in Sri Lanka, and I promise you'll make lots of memories. From the beautiful scenery to the wildlife to the rich culture, you're gonna fall in love with Sri Lanka, and it won't break the bank.
Hey everyone, my name is Sia Zerbi, and this is my recommendation for a budget destination to travel to in 2023. And it's where I am right now, Costa Rica. We've made Costa Rica our home. We fell in love with this country 10 years ago when we visited, so we ended up buying land here, and that's where we are today. There are so many ways to travel in this country cheaply. First of all, its location is very central, which means there's a lot of flight options to help you get here as cheap as possible. A typical dish here is called a casado, which is rice and beans and a protein and veggies, and that costs about 3,000 to 4,000 colones, which is about $5 US. But if you really want to be budget conscious, there are so many fruit vendors and fruit markets in this country. You can easily get a huge mango and a banana for under $1, even cents. Now, activities. This country is the most biodiverse country in the world, which means you are guaranteed to see natural beauty and wildlife everywhere you go. There's so many free things to do in this country to keep yourself occupied. The cheapest form of accommodation here is a hostel, or you can even rent a tent and go to like a camping area. And hostels will be about $10 to $20 a day. They can be $20 to $30 depending on the amenities available. You can also look at renting a vehicle, and they come with tents on the top, and you can drive around this country and have a vehicle and your accommodation in one. Because tourism is so big here, there's so many options for you to find a rental or an Airbnb anywhere you go in this country. And those will range on the cheaper end from $20 to $40 a night, but we're sticking to budget. So go with the budget option. I would highly recommend adding Costa Rica to your 2023 travel plans for budget destinations.
Hey everyone, Kristen here again. My top pick for the most amazing, affordable budget destination to visit in 2023 is India. I have spent 6 months in total in the country, traveling all around from the north to the very south, and it is the most budget-friendly destination I have ever been to out of all 70 countries that I have traveled to date. And not just that, but India is one of my favorite countries in the entire world. I actually did a budget breakdown of 1 month I spent in India, which you can find on our blog, and although it's from a few years ago, prices haven't changed very much. A typical Indian dish that you'll get in a restaurant will cost around $2 to $3 US, and that also includes a drink, and it's a lot of food that you're getting, like a typical dish with some naan and then a chai, let's say. If you want to pay even less than that, you can check out a local dhaba where the locals go, and you can get the same dish for about $1. When it comes to accommodations, as a single traveler, you can expect to pay anywhere between $2 to $18 to spend the night in a guest house or a hostel style accommodation. And obviously, the closer you get to the $18 mark, the nicer the guest house or hostel is going to be. But even for $40 US a night, you can stay in complete luxury all over the country. The transportation system in India is very convenient. There's many ways to get around. You can get an Uber in Delhi for an hour to go around the city. It'll cost you $7. You can take a train, which I highly recommend. You have to at least take one train ride in India. It's quite the experience. But a train ride from Delhi to Agra will cost you $16, and that will be in comfort class, which is really nice. So now that you know the most amazing, affordable budget destinations to visit in 2023, you may also want to know some more budget travel hacks that are going to help you save even more this year. If that's you, be sure to check out the video that just popped up for more tips and tricks. And I'll see you in the next video. Happy travels!